Hey, beautiful cusp souls, welcome in. Let's dive into your weekly reading. What is happening in the next week, the second week of June, between the 8th and the 14th? Let's really dive in and check for each of you the general reading, the general energy, the obstacle, the blessing, and a message that Spirit has for each of you. Timestamps are below in the description box, beautiful souls. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for leaving comments and really supporting the channel. And those of you that have become subscribers and that are still becoming subscribers, I really appreciate you. And then also to those of you that do donate and purchase those mini one question readings, it really helps the channel out. It really does. So I'm sending you all extra love and light. And those of you that leave comments, really, I do appreciate you. I'm sending you all so much love and light. And how about each of you comment what good thing happened in the last week, or that you know that is still coming? What is coming in that is a blessing, or a blessing disguise, or a job offer, or something, or money, or a gift, or something that you've been wishing for, hoping for, or anything like that. Okay, let's put some spread some positivity between the cup souls, and let's share some blessings. All right, with me, with an application, something has moved forward last week, and I got some work in, so I can get some extra money in, and also I got a beautiful donation as well from Cindy, which I really appreciate, for a lead light. So let's share some love and light between all of us and share what blessing has come in, or what blessing are you hoping to come in. Let's share some love and light, beautiful souls. We're going to be diving in with using the Earth Woman Tarot. Interesting. The Five of Swords jumped out reversed. Pisces, Aries, Cuspers. Pisces, Aries, Cuspers. Spirit is showing me that something that you've been waiting to understand is finally coming to light this week. But before the answer arrives, you may have to just release something that you've outgrown. As we move through this week, we have these powerful energies unfolding. We have the last quarter moon in Pisces on the 8th, which is helping us to release the old emotional baggage. Venus, which is conjuncting Jupiter on the 9th, bringing blessings, opportunities, and expansion. Yet Mercury is also squaring Saturn on the 10th, reminding us that patience and maturity will be required. I feel like this is going to be a week of a real spiritual growth, emotional clarity, and just trusting what your intuition already knows. Now, beautiful souls, the general energy of the week ahead is we have the stunning Sun card, and at the bottom of the deck, we got the High Priestess. So I'm doing something a little bit different. I got the card, and then I got the underlining energy. All right, so the Sun is your overall energy this week ahead, which is one of the most positive cards in the entire tarot deck, right? This is the illumination, the clarity, this is that confidence that's returning, that's a joy, it's positivity, right? Something that something has felt uncertain is really going to start making sense in this week. Many of you may find yourself feeling lighter, happier, or finally seeing some sort of progress in some sort of area where you have felt stuck. And underneath all of that is the High Priestess. All right, you are the High Priestess, which is telling me that this isn't coming out of nowhere. You know it has been coming all along. Your intuition has been preparing you for this moment long before your logical mind actually has caught up. And what Spirit's saying is you already know more than you think. The answers are already within you. So let's have a look at what is the obstacle. Interesting that we have the Empress, and then at the bottom we have the Eight of Cups. Now, this is very interesting. The obstacle, what to let go of, And so, like, we all know the Empress is actually that beautiful energy, all right? But the obstacle position, a Spirit is maybe asking to release some sort of unhealthy attachment to comfort, people pleasing, or maybe constantly nurturing everyone else except for yourself. For some of you, there may be a situation where you've poured so much energy into helping someone grow that you maybe forgot your own needs. Underneath everything is that Eight of Cups, right? Which is confirming it. That some of you emotionally are walking away from an old version of yourself, an unbalanced relationship. Maybe it's expectations that just no longer fit your path, or something maybe you've just outgrown. So the lesson isn't the abandonment, it's the lesson about maybe it's time choosing yourself, like stop watering gardens that you've already outgrown. Right? Thank you for hitting the like button, my beautiful Pisces, Aries, Cuspers. I really, really, truly appreciate it. All right, so let's have a look here. The blessing, what to focus on. So Page of Cups with Death at the bottom. All right, I actually feel like this is this magical energy coming through for us. The Page of Cups often arrives with surprises, spiritual messages, creative inspiration, emotional healing, or unexpected opportunities. Maybe some of you will receive a heartfelt message, an apology, an invitation, and maybe it's going to be a new creative idea, or maybe it's going to be a spiritual sign that you've actually been asking for. But the deeper blessing comes from the Death card underneath, right? Something is ending. Not as punishment, but as preparation. As a chapter is closing so that a new one can begin. Spirit is showing me butterflies emerging from the cocoon, all right? And the transformation may feel maybe uncomfortable at first, but it's quite necessary for the growth that's coming, all right? So let's have a look at the message for the week ahead. We have from Spirit, right? The message a week for ahead from Spirit is we do have the moon, and underneath that we have the Nine of Wands, okay? This is where Spirit's going to get a little bit direct with us, all right? Not everything is meant to be fully visible right now. So the moon is coming through to remind us that some of the answers reveal themselves one step at a time, all right? So maybe there's something that you've been feeling uncertain about, maybe confused about, or maybe a little bit emotionally sensitive. This card's saying just trust the process, all right? Now, underneath it with the Nine of Wands, it's showing that you have been through a lot recently. Some of you are exhausted. Some of you are questioning whether you have enough energy just to keep going. And yes, you do. Spirit's saying, yes, you do. You're much closer than you realize. So the breakthrough comes after that final stretch, right? Do not give up because you can't see the entire path ahead. So what I'm also hearing here from Spirit here for the week ahead is this week is going to feel like a bridge between endings and new beginnings. The sun is bringing that clarity. The clarity is coming. The moon says trust your intuition. The page is saying blessings are arriving, and the Death is saying that transformation is already underway. You are not who you were a month ago. You have grown. You've healed. You've awakened. All right. And obviously you're not fully healed. All right. Every day you're healing something new. Now Spirit's just asking you to trust yourself enough to move forward. And maybe if you've been seeing like repeating numbers, feathers, songs, dreams, and maybe some unusual synchronicities lately, Spirit's saying pay attention. All right, the guides are speaking to you a little bit louder than ever. So beautiful souls, if this message helped you in any sort of way or resonated, brought some sort of clarity for the week ahead, hey, put either a yellow flower or a sunflower or a sun in the comments and say, I trust the path unfolding before me. I trust the path unfolding before me. And always, my beautiful Pisces, Aries, Cuspers, keep following your intuition, keep honoring your journey, and remember, the light that you've been searching for is already shining within you. Love and light, beautiful, and I'll check you around. Aries, Taurus, Cuspers, have you maybe been feeling pulled in two directions, different directions lately? One part of you wants to move forward fast, while another part knows divine timing can't be rushed. Well, this week ahead, Spirit is asking you maybe just to pause a little bit, reassess, and choose your next step wisely. As we move through the week, all right, the last quarter movements in Pisces is encouraging release and reflection. And while Venus is conjuncting Jupiter, it is bringing some blessings through relationships, family, and even maybe emotional healing. Mercury even squaring Saturn may test your patience, but everything happening now is helping you build something more solid for the future. Let's have a look at your general energy, because we do have the Two of Wands, all right? And then the underlining energy is the King of Swords. Did I say King of Swords? Knight of Swords. Interesting. Knight of Swords, King of Swords. Air energy could be really significant, all right? Somebody with strong air placements. Two of Wands is talking about that planning, all right? Showing planning, decision-making, looking towards the future. No longer where you used to be, but you're not fully where you're meant to be. Maybe this is something to do with an air sign, all right? It doesn't have to be. Maybe you are thinking about a move. It could be a relationship decision, a financial investment, or a completely new chapter. Now, the Knight of Swords here is underneath, right? Which is telling me that your mind might just be moving faster than reality. Maybe you feel a little bit impatient. Maybe you want answers right now. You may want to rush towards the next chapter before the details are even clear. And Spirit's saying, think strategically before acting impulsively. Not every door needs to be kicked open. Some doors they just naturally open when the timing is right. So let's have a look at the obstacle. Remember, beautiful souls, always take what resonates and leave the rest. I try to make these to fit as much of you as possible, including with the astrology. And yeah, let's dive in. But thank you for liking the video and letting me know that you are an Aries or Taurus Cuspers that's clicked here. So the obstacle, what to let go of, is the Chariot with the Sun at the bottom. All right, this is quite powerful. The reason why I'm saying that, the Chariot in the obstacle position suggests that maybe forcing outcomes, maybe creating unnecessary resistance. Maybe some of you have been trying so hard to control the direction of a situation that maybe you've exhausted yourself. Maybe you're pushing a relationship, chasing validation, forcing a timeline, trying to make something happen before it's ready. Now, the Sun underneath reveals this beautiful truth, right? The success you're seeking is already available, that you don't need to force it. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to win every battle. But Spirit's saying, trust what's meant for you is already moving towards you. The more you relax your grip, the easier things begin to flow. So let's have a look at the next one, is the blessing and what to focus on. Now, interesting, we got the Five of Pentacles, all right, and the underlining energy is the King of Cups. Now, this may surprise us, or surprising me, because the Five of Pentacles is often viewed as a difficult card. But in the best blessing position, it's like Spirit is showing me something a little bit deeper here, all right? This card is revealing where healing is available. Maybe some of you are finally recognizing that you are not as alone as maybe you felt. Help, support, guidance, emotional stability may arrive through unexpected sources. The King of Cups underneath, or it's talking also about that emotional maturity, wisdom, and compassion. So maybe this is going to be a water sign that could be coming in that is a supportive person, a counselor or mentor. Maybe it's a romantic interest, or maybe it's your own emotional growth. All right. So Spirit is saying that the support that you have been looking for may already be closer than you actually realize. This week it may just be asking you to receive rather than carry everything by yourself. So let's have a look at the message from Spirit. Again, thank you for hitting the like button, beautiful soul. So Three of Swords, okay, and underneath is the Six of Wands. 36 could be a significant number. Actually, now that I'm looking at these numbers, the number 2 could be significant. Any of these numbers could be a life path number or a date or something, right? The Chariot is number 7, so 2, 7s, 5s, 3s, 6s really could be significant. Even the number 10 could be very, very significant. 27 could be significant. 25 could be very, very significant. I'm hearing 23 for some of you could be also very, very significant. All right, some of you 27. Did I say 27? Anyway, number 27 could be significant. So, all right, the message from Spirit. They're saying here this is the heart of the reading, all right? Now, the Three of Swords is coming through for acknowledgement on some sort of disappointment or heartbreak, betrayal, or some sort of wound, emotional wound that may still linger beneath the surface. For some of you, this could be recent. For others, this is something maybe you've carried a bit longer than you've actually realized. And Spirit is not bringing this forward to cause pain. Spirit just wants to acknowledge it, all right? It wants you to acknowledge it or just bring it to awareness, bringing it forward for healing. And underneath that, with this Six of Wands here, is very important. The reason why I'm saying is because it says the story doesn't end with the heartbreak, all right? It ends with victory. It ends with healing. It ends with you rising stronger than before. So Spirit says, whatever broke your heart will not define your future. You're not meant to stay in the wound, all right? You are meant to learn from it, heal from it, and then move beyond it. So what Spirit is also saying is this week is not about rushing. It's about choosing, all right? The Two of Wands asks you to look ahead. The Chariot asks you to stop forcing the outcomes. The Five of Pentacles reminds you that there is support available. And the Three of Swords says, hey, maybe it's time just to release the old pain. Easier said than done, but we work on that daily, right? And underneath all of that, you know, with the Sun, we have the King of Cups here. And we have the Six of Wands. I feel like those cards is telling me something really beautiful for you, that healing is happening, clarity is arriving, victory is actually closer than it appears, and that chapter that you've been waiting for is actually beginning to take shape, you know. Just, you know, you're trusting in the process, trusting in the timing, but most importantly, trusting in yourself. So, beautiful souls, perhaps if you feel called that, if you feel putting in the comments, you release what no longer serves you and you trust the path ahead. You know, sometimes, you know, the bravest thing to do is maybe to stop forcing the future and just allow it to unfold. Because, you know, your breakthrough is actually closer than you think. So, beautiful soul, I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'll check you around in the next one. Oh, travel could be very significant for some of you with the Chariot. And that traveling is going to bring a lot of success and happiness and clarity. That's an extra message if you made it to this point. Love and light, beautiful. Taurus, a Gemini Cusp. Spirit is showing me a crossroads this week. Interesting. Yes, they're showing a crossroad this week. Not because you lost, but because you're finally seeing options that weren't visible before. Interesting. Wow. And I'm hearing this question is coming through here. Will you trust your wisdom, or will you get distracted by every possibility? You know, we do have that last quarter moon in Pisces coming through to help us release what no longer serves us. Venus conjunct Jupiter bringing some blessings and expansions. Mercury square Saturn asking us to slow down and think carefully. I feel like this week is going to feel like one of those powerful blend of intuition, logic, and divine timing for you. Looking at the general week energy here, we do have the Queen of Swords, all right? And underneath that, we do have the Two of Pentacles. This week might just be about clarity for you. Queen of Swords doesn't sugarcoat things, right? Whether you're male or female, the Queen of Swords is the energy that she sees situations exactly as they are. Some of you may just find yourself making important decisions, setting stronger boundaries, or finally saying something you've been holding back. There's a strong energy about mental clarity arriving. Like the fog is lifting, confusion is busy clearing, and the Two of Pentacles underneath tells me that maybe you've been juggling multiple responsibilities, opportunities, priorities. You may be balancing your work and your personal life, finances, relationships, multiple choices or paths forward. And what Spirit is saying is that you don't have to carry everything at once. This week is going to be about simplifying what becomes unnecessary, complicated. So let's have a look at the obstacle of the week and what to let go of. Well, we do have the Knight of Wands here, and underneath that is we do have the Nine of Wands, all right, that fire energy of yours coming through here. So some of you may have strong fire placements. It doesn't have to be. I'm hearing here now, this is quite important, Spirit saying. The Knight of Wands in the obstacle position points towards impulsive energy, like maybe wanting answers immediately, wanting immediate results, wanting to rush towards the next exciting thing. But underneath it is the Nine of Wands, which tells me that maybe some of you may be acting from a place of exhaustion rather than inspiration. When you're carrying burdens for a long time, sometimes we become restless. We want change simply because we're tired, all right? So Spirit saying, don't mistake urgency for alarmment. Not every opportunity needs immediate answers. Not every spark is meant to become fire. All right. This week may just be asking you to slow down enough to recognize what's truly worth your energy. So let's have a look at the blessing. All right. For the week ahead, what to focus on? Well, we do have the Hermit. Okay. And underneath that, we do have the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is quite beautiful. The Hermit is showing that your greatest blessing this week may just become through some sort of solitude, reflection, inner wisdom, or spiritual guidance. Maybe you might find yourself needing more quiet than usual, more time alone, more time to think, more time to listen to your own voice instead of everyone else's opinions. And underneath all of that, with the Wheel of Fortune, tells me something important, like there's a cycle that's already shifting, right? Divine timing is moving things behind the scenes. Even if you can't fully see all the changes yet, the wheel has already begun turning. Like the answers that you're seeking won't come from outside of you, they're going to come from within. So I'm hearing, pay attention to dreams, pay attention to synchronicities, pay attention to what repeatedly catches your attention. Like your guides are leaving some sort of breadcrumbs for you. All right. Now, let's have a look at your message from Spirit here. The number 2, double nines, twos could be really significant. Triple nines is actually here in your reading. Now, let me know if the synchronicity nines has been following you. We got from the 9 from the Hermit, 9 from the Nine of Wands, and then also we have this beautiful Nine of Cups here. And then we do have the number 2 here as well. And then number 7, lucky number 7. Okay, so Spirit is saying here, the 7 of Cups, all right, underneath is the 9 of Cups. This feels like the heart of your reading, right? The 7 of Cups is talking about the many possibilities that could possibly be appearing for you. Choices, opinions, options. Why am I saying opinions? Something about opinions. Okay, so I meant to say choices, options, dreams, opportunities. Maybe somebody's got an opinion. All right, if you do have an opinion on something, do share it. Not every option I'm hearing is meant for you. Some are distractions, some are illusions, some are simply aligned with your highest path. Spirit wants you to move carefully this week, I'm hearing. Don't choose based on suddenly what looks good. Choose based on what feels right. All right. And underneath all of that is that beautiful combination, the confusion that's sitting with this wish fulfillment. Okay, so this is that blessing card, all right? A card of emotional satisfaction. So Spirit says, what is meant for you does not require confusion to find it. It's just that the right path will bring peace and not chaos. The right choice will feel aligned and it won't feel forced. So my beautiful souls, this week for you, it feels like a week of discernment. You know, the Queen of Swords is asking you to trust yourself, your wisdom. The Knight of Wands is saying, maybe it's slow down a little bit before acting. The Hermit is saying, listen to your inner guidance. The 7 of Cups is saying, choose carefully. And underneath all of that, right, we do have this Wheel of Fortune and we have the 9 of Cups. Wow. All right. Tells me that blessings are already moving towards you underneath everything. But Spirit also says they don't want you to chase every possibility. They want you to choose the right possibility. Your intuition knows the difference, right? I'm hearing trust it. So beautiful souls, maybe you want to claim this energy, saying you trust your inner wisdom and you choose what is aligned for you. My Taurus, a Gemini Cuspers. And just remember, not every door, not every open door is your door. All right? So beautiful souls, the one meant for you will open without forcing, without chasing, without second guessing. I'm hearing here, trust the guidance, trust the timing, trust yourself. I'm sending you all so much love and light, and I'll check you around in the next one. Gemini, Cancer Cuspers. Something emotional is shifting this week, but it's not here to overwhelm you. It's here to soften you into truth. You're learning how to feel without losing your clarity. Now, we do have that last quarter moon in Pisces, helping release the emotional residue, Venus conjunct Jupiter, expanding connection blessings, Mercury that's squaring Saturn, bringing some moments of reflection and truth testing. This week opens a powerful emotional awakening, wrapped in clarity and healing. Let's dive in. The general energy for the week ahead is the Three of Cups. Here's your Cancer energy coming through. And the underlining energy is the Star. So my Gemini, Cancer Cuspers, this energy is softening and uplifting all at the same time. So the Three of Cups brings connection, reunion, joy, emotional support, shared moments that remind you not carrying everything alone. Some of you may reconnect with friends, family, or soul-aligned people who lift your spirit. But underneath it sits a star, all right? And this is what's changing everything. Because this isn't just about that social energy, this is healing energy. Spirit is showing me emotional recovery happening through connection, laughter, and being seen again after a period of withdrawal or some sort of heaviness. That you are actually being restored in ways maybe you didn't expect. What Spirit is saying is, let yourself receive joy without questioning if you deserve it. So let's have a look at the obstacle for the week ahead. So we do have the 10 of Wands, and underneath that is the 8 of Pentacles. This is a big release week for you, I'm hearing. 10 of Wands is showing emotional overload, responsibility, burnout, carrying too much without enough support. Maybe some of you have been trying to be everything for everyone, all right? The student, the worker, the healer, supporter, all at once. And underneath that, the 8 of Pentacles shows that where this comes from, like, the effort, the discipline, trying to earn stability or love through the constant doing. What Spirit is saying, maybe gently step in, and they're saying, like, the Spirit is actually stepping in here and saying, okay, you're not meant to prove your worth through exhaustion. This week may just be asking you to put something down, not forever, not long enough to just long enough to breathe again. Let go of overworking your healing. Let go of carrying something that is just not yours. All right, let's have a look at the blessing here. So, Queen of Wands, and we have the Hermit at the bottom of the deck. So a fire sign, it could be significant, a feminine fire sign. Maybe you've got strong feminine fire placements. Or you don't have to be, you could just embody the feminine energy, all right, male or female. So the Queen of Wands brings in the energy, this is a powerful contrast energy, right? Because the Queen of Wands is that confidence, magnetic energy, creativity, self-expression. So maybe you're being reminded that your natural glow, your ability to inspire, attract, and lead through authenticity. But the Hermit also underneath adds a little bit of depth, right? Your power grows when you're not performing it for others, but you're embodying it yourself. So I'm hearing this week's blessing is rediscovering your inner fire. So maybe it's not even anybody else, all right? It's you, that your fire within you. After some period of emotional withdrawal or overgiving, maybe you might just realize you still have it in you, you're still powerful, you're still worthy of attention and love, but now it comes from within, right? Not that validation outside of you. Spirit's saying your light returns when you stop abandoning yourself in the dark. Let's have a look at message from Spirit. So, 4 of Cups with the Devil at the bottom, all right? This is actually a little bit of a reflective message. Four of Cups is talking about that emotional disconnection or boredom, feeling stuck in the same emotional loop. The devil underneath reveals the deeper truth. You may be emotionally attached to something that just no longer nourishes you. A thought pattern, a relationship dynamic, a comfort zone, a fear of change disguised as waiting. All right, so what Spirit is showing here is some sort of emotional stagnation breaking this week, but only if you acknowledge it. There's some sort of opportunity that will be being offered, but you may have to also focus on what's wrong to notice it. Don't let familiarity become your cage. Freedom is being offered, but you have to be willing to look up and see it. So wow, this week is the emotional healing wrapped in awakening. All right, Three of Cups is bringing that support and clarity. 10 of Wands is asking, okay, put down something that's too heavy. Queen of Wands says, restore your confidence and spark. 4 of Cups says, challenge the emotional stagnation. And underneath all of that, right, we do have the Star, we have the Hermit, and we have the Devil. All right, major arcanas here. All right, so healing, inner wisdom, release. Hey, you're not stuck. You are busy transforming. And what once ever felt emotionally heavy is beginning to loosen its grip. I'm hearing, let yourself receive support. Let yourself rest. Let yourself want more than survival, all right? That survival mode. Like, you moving into a softer, brighter emotional chapter, I'm hearing. Hey, claim this energy, beautiful soul. Say, I'm open to... I'm opening myself to healing, joy, and aligned emotional neural. And remember, my Gemini Cancers, all right. Just remember, you don't have to carry everything to be worthy of love. Sometimes healing looks like finally just, hey, putting it down. I'm sending you so much love and light. Thank you for being here, and I'll check you around in the next one. Hey, Cancer, Leo Cuspers. Welcome in, beautiful souls. Spirit is showing me a turning point that will be happening this week. Something that has been keeping you maybe awake at night may finally begin to shift. But I'm hearing before this blessing fully arrives, you're being asked to release some sort of old fears and trust that changes are unfolding around you. You know, as we're moving through the last quarter moon in Pisces this week, there may just be some sort of emotional clearing that will be taking place beneath the surface. Also with Venus conjunct Jupiter, but it's bringing some opportunities for healing, support, and abundance, while Mercury is squaring Saturn, reminding us that growth does require patience and faith, right? I feel like this week is going to feel like a very powerful transition between something that has been weighing on your heart and what is actually preparing to lift your spirit. So beautiful souls, looking at the general energy of the week, we do have this beautiful Wheel of Fortune. And at the bottom, the underlining energy, we have the Nine of Swords. Now, what is standing out for me here, I haven't used this deck in a while, if you guys noticed, and the snake stood out to me quite a bit. The shedding of the old skin, all right, the transformation. And I feel like, you know, with this Wheel of Fortune is a very strong sign that some sort of cycle is changing. Something that felt stuck is going to begin to start moving. Whatever felt delay is beginning to unfold. Whatever has felt uncertain is being revealed, is revealing some sort of purpose. And, you know, as the cards were coming out, I got this feather on the side next to me here, and it actually, as I looked at the snake, this white feather, little feather, fell on the floor. So I'm hearing that your angels are with you this week. All of this has been happening behind the scenes, and you are divinely protected. That cycle is moving, all right? Something that felt stuck. So we'll keep that white little feather there to the side for you. And yeah, okay, Spirit's also coming to say, yeah, something that felt uncertain is going to reveal its purpose. And Spirit's also saying, yeah, the snake is reminding us of the transformation Often that requires shedding of the old skin before stepping into the new chapter. And some of you may be experiencing some unexpected changes this week. Some of you may finally see some sort of movement in an area where progress found very painfully slow. Yeah, and with the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck, it tells me that maybe your mind has still focused on the worst case scenarios. Some of you have been carrying some worries that maybe that have grown larger than your thoughts, maybe. Than what the actual reality is, like larger in your thoughts than what the reality is actually. So what Spirit is saying is, don't let fear convince you that change is dangerous, that not every ending is loss, not every unknown outcome is a threat. Sometimes, the wheel turns because it's preparing something bigger than what you're actually trying to hold on to. All right. Number 9 could be a significant number. It might be a life path number for somebody. It could be a date for someone, the 9th of June. Whoa, why am I out of breath? I didn't even do anything. All of a sudden I'm out of breath. Okay. Let's have a look at the obstacle and what to let go of. So 6 of Pentacles with the underlining energy, 6 of Swords. So maybe the 6-6 portal could have been very significant. It actually was yesterday. Perhaps the angel number 66 could be significant. I did make a post in the community section about the angel number 666, but if you want to look up 66, it's more or less similar. Go ahead and have a look. So the obstacle and what to let go of is balance, something about balance. The 6 of Pentacles in the obstacle position, right, suggests something about there may be an imbalance in giving and receiving. Some of you maybe have been pouring energy into people, situations, or maybe responsibilities that are not giving you back equally. You may be always helping others, carrying emotional burdens that weren't yours, or maybe overextending yourself financially, energetically, or just waiting for someone to be there, someone to give equally, like energetically, of what you've already given. And with the 6 of Swords underneath, it's confirming that Spirit's saying maybe it's time just to move away from the sort of pattern, that there is a healthier chapter that is available. But first, perhaps maybe to stop normalizing imbalance. Like you do deserve relationships, opportunities, and connections that flow both ways, right? And I'm hearing here something about stop convincing yourself that breadcrumbs are enough when you're worthy of a full meal. All right, let's have a look here at Temperance. The blessing, what to focus on with the 6 of Cups at the bottom. This feels actually quite healing that's coming through here for this week. Temperance is a card of balance, peace, divine timing, emotional harmony. So perhaps after recent challenges, Spirit is helping you find your center again. This isn't about rushing, right? It isn't about forcing. This is more about trusting the natural unfolding of events. Yeah, with the 6 of Cups underneath, I also feel like this is a beautiful energy regarding healing wounds, reconnecting with joy, remembering parts of yourself maybe that you've forgotten. Some of you may reconnect with a cherished dream, a meaningful friendship, maybe childhood passions, memories that maybe remind you of who you truly are. It could be a past life connection. 6s is really significant in your reading. Wow, I just knocked the whole camera. Because now I'm noticing that we actually do have 666s on the table. So definitely, maybe there's a message there for that on that post, or you want to just go and check the angel number specifically for your situation. I'm hearing here the healing that you're seeking comes when you stop fighting the process and allow yourself to receive it. Sometimes your soul remembers the way forward, even before that your mind does. All right, let's have a look here, the message from Spirit for the week ahead. We do have the Queen of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles, the underlining energy. I feel like Spirit's being a little bit direct here. The Queen of Wands, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. It's the confident energy, the magnetic energy, the courageous, the unapologetically authentic. It's somebody that knows their worth, right? The Queen of Wands doesn't shrink herself to make others comfortable, that kind of feminine energy, right? And underneath that, with the Five of Pentacles, maybe some of you may still be, there may still be an old wound connected to some sort of rejection, abandonment, or lack, or feeling unseen. Perhaps there were times maybe when you doubted your value, times when you questioned whether you were enough, times when circumstances made you feel unsupported. And Spirit wants you to know something really important here, that those experiences, they shaped you, but they didn't define you. All right? So the Queen of Wands is coming through here because it's coming through as a little bit of advice to say that you've been called to step into your power despite whatever has happened or is happening. Not after you heal, not after everything is perfect, but now, all right? And Spirit says also to stop looking at what is missing, and then also to start recognizing the power that already exists within you, that your light has never left. It's simply just waiting for you to claim it again. So wow, my Cancer, Leo, Cuspers, this is quite a powerful message happening here for you. Life path 5 could be significant, 6 and 9, but 666 is a very significant angel number for you for the week ahead. This week does feel like a destiny turning page. That change is coming with the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, it's a major arcana. We do have the 6 of Pentacles asking you to release any sort of imbalance. Temperance is bringing that healing and divine timing. And the Queen of Wands is saying, you do have the power. It's reminding you of your power. You do. And underneath all of that, right, with the 9 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, the 6 of Cups, and the 5 of Pentacles, those cards itself, the underlying energy is telling a story on its own. All right? A story of moving away from fear. A story of leaving behind what no longer supports you. A story of healing the old wounds. A story of remembering your worth. And that chapter ahead, it cannot be built from the fears of the chapter that is behind, right? So Spirit is saying, trust that this wheel's turning. Trust the turn of the wheel. Trust in the healing. Trust in the timing. And most importantly, trust in yourself. Beautiful souls, if this message found you at the right time, perhaps claim the energy that you release fear, you embrace your worth, and you trust the changes that is guiding you forward. I release fear, embrace my worth, and trust the changes guiding me forward. And remember, the wheel's turning in your favor. The version of you that has been waiting to rise is ready now. I'm hearing a step forward with confidence. Your next chapter is already beginning. I'm sending you so much love and light for the week ahead. Thank you for liking, subscribing, leaving comments, and I'll check you around. Hey, Leo, Virgo, Cusp. Spirit is showing me a doorway this week for you. You've reached a point where you can either keep analyzing the path ahead or finally step through it. The opportunity is there. The question is whether you're ready to trust yourself enough to take the first step. You know, as we move through the last quarter moon in Pisces, the old doubts, emotional baggage, they are ready to be released, I'm hearing, especially with, we have Venus conjunct Jupiter bringing expansion, blessings, and opportunities through relationships and personal growth. While Mercury square Saturn asks you to think carefully before making important decisions this week, because this week feels like a powerful blend of preparation, wisdom, and forward movement. Looking at your general energy for the week ahead, so 2 of Wands. The underlying energy is the Fool. Wow. Okay, so like you standing at the edge of something new. Like 2 of Wands appears when you've outgrown your current comfort zone and beginning to look towards a larger vision for your future. Like that planning energy, decision-making energy, expansion energy. Like there's many of you going to be looking at, some of you, let me know in the comments, looking for that new opportunity, keeping an eye out for it. Maybe it's a career move. Maybe it's a relationship decision. Maybe it's a personal goal or a spiritual next chapter. You can let us know below in the comments. What is that? Because here's the Fool, all right? The underlying energy. That Spirit is smiling because the Fool says the universe is preparing you for this fresh beginning. The problem, you may not have all the answers yet. The Fool never does, right? You don't need to see the entire staircase or the whole road ahead as you take the first step, right? This week is just asking you to trust in the possibilities more than the fear. All right, so let's have a look at what is the obstacle, what do you let go of? Well, we do have the King of Cups, and the underlying energy is the Page of Wands. So interesting, because the King of Cups is usually quite a beautiful card, right? But in the obstacle position, Spirit is showing emotional restraint that may have become the emotional suppression. Some of you may have become so skilled at holding everything together that you really allow yourself to fully express what you're feeling. You stay composed, you stay responsible, you stay in control. But underneath that is the Page of Wands. That tells me there is a part of you that is craving some sort of excitement, spontaneity, whatever, the word don't want to come out, but you get what I'm saying, right? Creativity and freedom. A part of you wants to explore, to play, try something new. And Spirit's like saying, hey, you don't have to carry every emotion with a perfect control. It's okay to be curious. It's okay to be passionate. It's okay to let yourself be and feel inspired again. Release the belief that maturity means limiting your joy. All right, so blessing that's unfolding. Well, we do have the King of Swords. Air energy, very significant. Here's Judgment. So, underneath Judgment, all right, powerful clarity. That's your blessing this week. Truth, wisdom, objectivity, and sound decision making. I feel like after weeks of months of uncertainty, maybe you might just find yourself seeing a situation exactly as it is, right? Not that no wishful thinking. Yeah, that's the right way of putting it. No fear-based thinking, just trusting. Underneath it is judgment, right? So it's like awakening that's happening, a calling, a moment where you realize or recognize what your soul's actually been trying to tell you all along, that some of you may have realized this week may just change everything. Some sort of decision becomes obvious, a truth becomes undeniable, a path becomes clear, and Spirit's saying, the answers arrive when you are willing to completely be honest with yourself. Trust the clarity that's coming, because I'm hearing actually it's your higher self that's speaking quite loudly right now. Maybe we should do a message from your higher self in the next cusp signs. Beautiful souls. Okay, message from Spirit here. 7 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands. Wow. The heart of the reading. Okay. So 7 of Pentacles is the energy of patience, its growth, its long-term rewards. And Spirit is showing me that you planted seeds over the last several months. Some of you have been wondering, is it working? Am I making progress? Will this pay off? And whatever this is for you, okay? Spirit saying yes. Because the 7 of Pentacles reminds you that not all growth is immediately visible. Roots grow before they bloom, right? 6 of Wands underneath is this beautiful combination because it's talking about that recognition, the victory, the success, the achievement. And Spirit says, don't abandon the garden just because the harvest hasn't fully arrived yet. You're actually closer than you think. The rewards are developing beneath the surface. Number 2, 7 and 6 could really be significant numbers for you. It could be life path numbers. It could be date. All right. Also, 26, 27, it could be significant numbers. The number 20 as well could be a significant date. Well, okay, so this week, Spirit saying is, I'm hearing that you standing between some sort of preparation and a breakthrough. Okay, and it's going to be different for each and every one of you because the 2 of Wands talks about the that you vision the future, all right? The Fool says, trust that new beginning. The King of Cups says, release control over the emotional control, all right? Release control over, release emotional over control, all right? And the King of Swords says, bring truth and clarity. The Seven of Pentacles says, growth does take time. And underneath that, the Fool, Judgment, Six of Wands. These cards is telling me something really important, that there is a new chapter that is calling, a truth is being revealed, and victory is closer than you think. You have not been working, healing, growing, and evolving for nothing. The seeds that you've planted are beginning to respond. Trust the process, trust the timing, and most importantly, trust yourself. Beautiful souls, claim the energy for this week. Say, I trust my path, I honor my growth, and I welcome the blessings that is unfolding before me. And remember, my Leo Virgo Cuspers, the future that you are building, it doesn't require the perfectionism, all right? It just requires faith, patience, and one brave step at a time forward. Your breakthrough is already on its way. I'm sending you all love and light, and I'll check you around in the next one. Hey, Virgo, Libra, Cuspers. Spirit saying here, they're actually showing me somebody that's juggling many moving pieces while trying to keep everything balanced. But this week, you've been reminded that balance doesn't come from doing more. It comes from trusting your own power and knowing what deserves your energy. Yes, as we move through the last quarter moon in Pisces this week, all the emotional patterns are ready to be released. Venus conjuncts Jupiter, which is bringing opportunities for growth, healing, and blessings through relationships, while Mercury square Saturn encourages careful thinking and honest reflection. This is a week of navigating change, trusting your intuition, and recognizing that you are actually far more capable than you realize. The two energy could really be significant here. We do have the Two of Pentacles here. We have the Two of Wands. And the double twos is really significant for you guys. Maybe the 22nd could be a significant date. And now that I've got the Magician here, which is number 1, 21 could also be quite significant as well. So beautiful souls, this is your general week energy. All right, the general energy of the week. Two of Pentacles with the underlining energy of the Magician. Two of Pentacles appears normally when life is asking you to manage multiple responsibilities, priorities, or decisions at once. All right. Maybe some of you feel like you're constantly adjusting your schedule, your plans, your expectations. You're just trying to keep everything moving, trying to keep everyone happy, trying to maintain balance. But underneath that is the Magician, okay? And that's quite incredibly important because while maybe perhaps the Two of Pentacles saying is focusing on the juggling act, right? The Magician reminds you that you already have all the tools necessary to create the outcome that you desire. So I'm hearing for this week is don't focus on everything that's on your plate, and then just recognize the power that's actually in your hands, all right? That you are not powerless in this situation. You are the creator of your next chapter. And this week is just asking you to become intentional with your energy rather than maybe reactive, maybe to the circumstances. Now, the obstacle, what to let go of, King of Cups, all right? Underlining energy, the Two of Wands, all right? So this is interesting because the King of Cups is that emotional maturity, the wisdom. So the obstacle position of this card, Spirit is showing emotional strain that may have become the emotional avoidance. Maybe some of you have been keeping feelings so controlled that you're not fully expressing your truth. Maybe this could be holding back what needs to be said, protecting others from your emotions, avoiding difficult conversations, or maybe staying emotionally neutral when your heart actually wants honesty. And the Two of Wands, I feel like something about your future is calling you forward. A decision waiting to be made, a new horizon appearing. Okay, so the emotional strain that becomes the emotional avoidance with the King of Cups could be an obstacle, that maybe some of you are keeping your feelings controlled and you're no longer acknowledging them. You're staying calm, you're staying mature, you're staying composed, but your future is calling you forward. A decision is waiting to be made. A part of you may be delaying action because you're trying maybe to feel completely certain first. Okay, so I'm hearing you don't need perfect emotional certainty before taking the next step. You know, sometimes clarity arrives after movement, right? Not before. So here I'm hearing release the need to have every answer before you begin. Interesting that I feel like also there is something about a decision this week that needs to be made. Yeah, Spirit's actually showing me someone trying to keep multiple plates spinning at once. You're been balancing responsibilities, emotions, expectations, and decisions. But this week, maybe you're being reminded that you don't have to carry everything alone, right? The magic happens when you stop trying to control every outcome. Something about balancing work and personal life, finances and the future planning, relationships and self-care, maybe even multiple opportunities and commitments. But the good news is you're handling more than you realize. You are powerful, all right? You have all the tools, the skills, the necessary resources to create that outcome, all right? That the outcome that you desire. Some of you underestimate yourselves, focusing on something that's missing then rather than recognizing everything that's already available to you. Okay, something about don't look for more powers. Maybe start using the power that you already have. This week is going to be about your confidence and your abilities, and that, yeah, you're more capable, far more capable than you think. All right, so let's have a look at your next cards. The Five of Wands. Interesting. The Five of Wands, Five of Swords. Why am I saying Five of Wands? The blessing and what to focus on. So Five of Wands, we have the Five of Swords. Five of Wands is very, very significant. It feels very intense, but very important. The 5-5 change. Something about conflict energy this week, but I'm hearing it's not to harm you, it's to reveal something. All right, because the Five of Wands, that's not here, but I'm picking up the energy. It represents the external pressure, the competing energies, the options, the scattered direction. Five of Swords reveals misunderstandings, ego clashes, or situations where not everyone is playing fair. And underneath everything, all right, this is the underlying energy of the Four of Swords, and that is your blessing, the Four of Swords. Because your power this week, okay, whatever happens this week is not to fight harder. It's going to be in stepping back. That you don't have to participate in every battle that you're invited to, okay? Clarity comes through rest. Perspective comes through distance. And some of you may realize that maybe disengaging is going to be more powerful than reacting. I'm hearing something about empathy and injustice. All right, let's have a look at the message from Spirit. The Moon, the underlying energy, the Six of Swords. Virgo, Libra, Cuspers. Spirit, I feel like, is asking you to trust what you cannot fully understand. The Moon may bring some sort of uncertainty, emotional sensitivity, hidden truths, and intuitive awareness. Things may not be fully clear right now, but I'm hearing clarity is forming beneath the surface. Six of Swords underneath everything confirms movement away from confusion. Transition energy that's happening here, that you are leaving behind some sort of emotional fog, overthinking cycles, situations that just no longer feel mentally or emotionally aligned. I'm hearing this week, you don't need to have all the answers to move forward, only enough just enough truth to take one step. what feels unclear now is going to make sense in hindsight, I'm hearing. Yeah, double twos. 25 could be significant as well. 24, 26. Perhaps even the number 2s, 1, 4, 6, 5. Could be very significant. I'm hearing underneath all of this, all right, okay, with the Magician, the 2 of Wands, the 4 of Swords, the 6 of Swords. These 4 cards, the underlying energy tells a story on its own, right? That you're not lost, that you're busy in transition, you're not powerless, you're learning control, you're not stuck, you're moving through some sort of uncertainty into clarity. And your spirit team is actually guiding you away from some sort of chaos and more into alignment. But I'm hearing that you must choose not to engage with everything that pulls your energy. You protect your peace like it's sacred, you know, because it is. I'm hearing claim this energy for this week, right? That you choose clarity, balance, and peace over confusion and conflict. And then my Virgo Libra Cuspers, remember that you don't have to fix everything around you to find peace within you, right? Sometimes the most powerful move is actually stepping back and letting clarity find you. Thank you for liking the video, subscribing, leaving comments. I'm sending you so much love and light for the week ahead. And I'll check you around in the next one. Hey, hey, beautiful Libra Scorpios. Welcome in, beautiful souls. So Spirit is showing me a mental prison this week, but the door is already open. The real question is whether that you are ready to maybe stop overthinking your way out of what your soul already knows and knows how to leave behind. All right. The way your soul, the overthinking your way out of what your soul already knows how to leave behind. Okay, interesting. So as we're moving through the last quarter moon in Pisces, the emotional release, the stubborn clearing are all active, right? A Venus conjunct Jupiter is bringing some sort of rational expansion and emotional truth. With Mercury square Saturn, it's forcing some sort of honesty, boundaries, reality checks. I feel like this week is about breaking that mental loops, all right, and then stepping into that emotional liberation. All right, let's have a look at your general energy, all right? So your general energy of the week ahead is the 8 of Swords, all right? At the bottom of that came out from the bottom of the deck, the underlying energy, 2 of Wands. Something about decisions for the cusps, the collective actually for the week ahead. A lot of you, there will be choices and decisions to be made. This energy feels mentally heavy, but not permanent, right? The 8 of Swords is like you feel stuck, maybe you're overthinking something, maybe it's self-doubt, it could be that emotional paralysis kind of energy, but the truth is the restriction is perception, all right, not really our reality. And underneath that sits the 2 of Wands. So it means like your future is waiting for you. You're not trapped. You're just maybe hesitating about something. And Spirit is showing me someone that is standing at a doorway looking at new possibilities, but still replaying old fears. Like you, the only one, right, that can make that decision. And you're only one decision away from freedom, I'm hearing. All right, making that choice, that decision. And the moment that you stop negotiating maybe with fear or something like that, all right, I'm hearing that your path will just begin to open. Okay, the obstacle, we have the 2 of Cups, and the underlying energy is the World. This is actually, I feel like this deep emotional energy, the 2 of Cups in the obstacle position suggests some sort of emotional entanglement, attachments, or connections that may feel strong, but maybe are no longer aligned with the completion or growth. Because the World underneath, right, is talking about the cycles that are trying to end, but emotionally haven't fully been released. Maybe this could be relationship dynamics, emotional bonds, karmic connections, some sort of repeated pattern in love or friendships. So what Spirit is saying is this connection has no meaning, all right? Spirit is like saying that it may have completed its lesson, right? Not every bond is meant to last forever. Some are just meant to transform you. They come in, they do some, you get what I'm saying, right? So letting go of the need to keep something alive that has already fulfilled its purpose, all right? But the blessing, we have the Three of Cups, okay? And underneath that is a Chariot, all right? This is actually beautiful healing energy. Three of Cups is that joy, it's support, it's reconnection, it's celebration, it's emotional fulfillment, emotional upliftment. So after some sort of heaviness or isolation, something that was challenging, Spirit is guiding you back towards connection. So friends, soul family, support systems, moments of laughter and relief, all right? And with the Chariot, it means that this joy is not going to be random, right? It's directional. There is movement moving forward, all right? Maybe you're moving and you'll be meeting your soul tribe, traveling. Spirit is showing me emotional momentum that's returning after some sort of stagnation. So I'm hearing, let yourself be supported again. You're not meant to do this alone, and your healing will accelerate when you stop isolating yourself from love, all right? And it doesn't have to be romantic love. It could be friendship, family, soul tribe, you get. So message from Spirit, we have the Five of Wands, and underneath everything is the Page of Wands. So my Libra Scorpios, this message is about the inner and outer tension. Five of Wands represents most the conflict, the competition, the scattered energy, the internal struggle. But this is not destruction, right? It's activation, that you're being stirred awake. Old identities, old restrictions, or old reactions, old emotional patterns. It's all being challenged so something new can emerge. Yeah, Page of Wands underneath is very important. The reason why I'm saying is tension becomes curiosity. Conflict becomes the inspiration. After the chaos becomes the new spark of direction. I'm hearing don't fear the friction, all right? It's shaping your next beginning. Whatever is feeling uncomfortable is actually movement. So double twos could be significant, or the date number 22, 23 could be significant, 25, 27, 21. Or perhaps just the numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, and 1 is very significant for some of you in this collective. Beautiful souls, okay, this week is a breakthrough from some sort of mental or emotional stagnation. Again, the Eight of Swords coming through is you see your freedom, all right? The Two of Cups is talking about release what has completed. It's completed a cycle already, all right? And the Three of Cups is saying the emotional healing and reconnection is happening, all right? And Five of Wands is saying it's activating some sort of change in your inner growth. And underneath all of this here, with this cards at the bottom here, this is a powerful message that you're not stuck, all right? You are in transition. You're not losing. You're completing cycles. You're not breaking down. You're breaking through. And Spirit is moving you out of limitation and into expansion. But I'm hearing maybe it's time to stop participating in the mental stories that have kept you small. Easier said than done, right? Beautiful souls, perhaps it's time to claim this energy that you release the mental limitations, honor your emotional truth, and you stepping into your freedom this week. And remember, my Libra, Scorpio, Cuspers, the door is already open, right? You're the only one that has to decide whether to walk through it. I'm sending you so much love and light for the week ahead. You've got this, and I'll check you around. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Cuspers. Spirit is showing me a sudden shake-up this week. To be honest, I actually came in like a wrecking ball. But I'm hearing this is not to break you. It's to awake you. Something emotional that felt hidden or avoided is actually rising to the surface so that it can finally be healed and not carried. Yeah, we are moving through that last quarter moon in Pisces, the emotional cleansing that is intensifying, Venus conjunct Jupiter opening doors for health and healing, truth expansion. While Mercury square Saturn is bringing some sort of necessary reality checks this week, is going to be like some sort of turning point for you, where discomfort becomes the transformation and truth becomes the liberation. Let's have a look at your general energy for the week ahead. Thank you for hitting the like button. I truly appreciate it. So we do have the Magician and the underlying energy, the Five of Pentacles. Pets could be significant. I'm hearing the Scooby barking out there. Let me go have a look and see why is he barking. Yeah, where I stay when the dogs bark, pay attention. All right. Apologize for the pause there. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Cuspers. This is powerful manifestation energy coming through, but it's coming with a bit of a shadow to acknowledge. Okay, so the Magician shows you a phase where maybe your thoughts, your intentions, your actions are incredibly potent, right? You're shaping reality faster than usual. But underneath, it's the Five of Pentacles, which reveals a deeper truth, that some of you have been manifesting maybe from a place of lack, fear, or feeling unsupported. You know, that scarcity mindset, the emotional insecurity, feeling left out or overlooked, maybe doubting your own power. But you're not lacking, Spirit says. You're not lacking the power. You're healing how you use it. So I'm hearing this week is going to be about reclaiming your authority and stepping out of survival energy, because you already have everything that you need. Now, the obstacle for the week, what to let go of, is we have the Six of Swords, and underneath is the Three of Cups. This is the emotional resistance to the transition. Six of Swords shows that you're being guided away from something mentally, emotionally heavy, but a part of you may still be holding on. So Three of Cups underneath suggests that emotional attachment could be nostalgia, could be social ties that just make it harder to move forward. Maybe it's old friendships. It could be the emotional comfort zones, past versions of happiness, connections that maybe feel familiar but are not aligned. So whatever this is for you, Spirit is saying you cannot heal in the same emotional environment that created the wound. So moving forward may just require some sort of emotional separation before the emotional relief, right? But now let's have a look here, the blessing. It's very interesting now that the Three of Swords, the blessing what to focus on is we've got the Three of Swords, and underneath that is the Five of Wands. So it's going to feel intense, whatever this blessing is for you, because this is actually deep healing energy. Your blessing is the deep healing energy. The Three of Swords is bringing truth, emotional release, heartbreak healing, or long-term overdue clarity. The Five of Wands under, it's talking about that conflict that's being brought to the surface. Arguments, it could be arguments with yourself or others. It could be competing emotions, conflicted desires, unspoken pain that's just finally demanding that attention, right? But this is not destruction, this is the release. What is revealed can now then finally be healed. Once you acknowledge it, it can be healed. This week may also bring some sort of emotional honesty that maybe you've been avoiding, and it sets you free. Now, interesting that we do have the Tower here, your message from Spirit, with the Ace of Cups as the underlying energy. My Scorpio Sagittarius, this feels like a major spiritual reset. The Tower represents sudden truth, breakdown of illusions, unexpected shifts, or maybe a realization that changes your direction. But underneath everything with the Ace of Cups, the collapse is not punishment, it's purification. Something false, unstable, or emotionally outdated is being removed so something real can begin. What Spirit's saying is, whatever falls away this week was never meant to hold you hold for towards you, go with you into your future, all right? And what rises after this moment is going to be the emotional renewal, love and healing and spiritual rebirth. Beautiful energy. But this week is going to be transformational though. Transformation through truth. You have the power, the magician says. The Six of Swords says, move forward emotionally. Three of Swords says, bring healing through honesty. Tower says, clear away the things that cannot remain. And underneath all of it, all right, Five of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Five of Wands, Ace of Cups. You're leaving behind lack. You're releasing the emotional attachments. You're resolving the inner conflict. And you're stepping forward into renewal. Spirit says, like, you're not breaking down. You're just breaking, Spirit's helping you breaking the illusions off of you. Perhaps you can claim the energy, I release what collapses, heal what surfaces, and I welcome the emotional renewal. And remember, my Scorpio Sagittarius cusp is the tower only falls when something stronger is ready to be built in its place. Your rebirth is already beginning. I'm sending you so much love and light. Numbers that could be significant before we go here. Double threes could be significant. Double fives could be significant. The 16th could be significant. The 15th. 36 could be significant. I'm hearing also 35. I'm hearing 63. 53. Beautiful souls, that is what I have for you. I'm sending you so much love and light. And remember, your main energy is the magician. You have the power for this new beginning. I'm sending you love and light, and I'll check you around. Hey, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Cuspers, beautiful souls. Spirit is showing me something you thought maybe you were done with. That is resurfacing this week. But not to trap you, but just to show you maybe where you still have power leaking through fear, habit, perhaps even emotional attachment. As we move through the last quarter moon in Pisces, the deep emotional release is unfolding, right? The Venus conjunct Jupiter brings the opportunities for healing, stability, support, while Mercury is squaring Saturn, highlighting responsibilities, truth, and accountability. This week is going to be about breaking some sort of inner chains and rebuilding the foundation, your foundation with awareness. So let's dive in looking at your general energy here. We do have the Devil, Capricorn energy. And here we have the Four of Wands, your fire energy coming out. So my Sag Capricorns, I feel like this is a powerful shadow awareness energy coming through. The Devil does reveal the attachment, the habits, the fears, the temptations, or patterns that have been limiting your freedom. This could be the emotional dependency, overworking, or burnout cycles, toxic thought loops. It could be staying stuck in comfort zones, fear disguised as loyalty. But underneath it all is the Four of Wands, right? And this is where things change for you this week, is because your foundation is calling in for stability, peace, and alignment, not the restriction. Maybe perhaps some of you are being freed from what you thought was holding you together. And sometimes, what feels stable is actually what is keeping you stuck. And I feel like this is the week that will just be exposing that. And let's have a look at the obstacle and what to let go of. Well, Three of Swords with the underlining energy of the Knight of Wands. This is the emotional pain meeting the impulse escape energy. The Three of Swords talks about the heartbreak, the disappointment, the betrayal wounds, the lingering emotional hurt. The Knight of Wands, underneath everything, reveals the coping mechanism, right? The running, the avoiding, the distracting, chasing something new, like chasing new energy to escape the old pain. So what Spirit is saying, you cannot outrun what is asking to be healed, right? I feel like this week is just asking you to stop reacting from emotional wounds and start addressing them directly. What hurts cannot be healed through the avoidance. All right, so blessing and what to focus on. Well, we do have the Page of Pentacles, but underneath we do have the Five of Pentacles. This is slow, grounded, rebuilding energy. So the Page of Pentacles is like something learning new or new opportunities, stability, or even practical steps forward. After the emotional heaviness or instability, like Spirit is just guiding you back to simplicity, right? But yeah, underneath is the Five of Pentacles. So something is coming up to address feelings of lack, insecurity, or fear of not maybe having enough, whatever that is for you. Like, start where you are, Spirit is saying, not where you think you should be. Even small steps could really count this week, okay? Small steps count this week. The tiny progress is very powerful. Like, you're building from the ground up, and that is strength, not failure. So let's have a look then at your final message from Spirit. We have the Queen of Pentacles, but underneath we do have the Eight of Swords. All right. So my Sag Capricorns, this is your empowerment message I'm hearing. The Queen of Pentacles, whether you're male or female, she represents stability, self-worth, nurturing energy, financial grounding, and the emotional maturity. Like, she knows how to take care of herself and her life without losing herself in the anxiety or the stress, all right? The worrying, the stress. The Eight of Swords underneath is talking about that internal block, the mental limitations, self-doubt, maybe the overthinking, feeling trapped by fear or pressure. So there is something about, we do tend to overthink, all right? But we need to realize what Spirit is saying is that you're not stuck, right? You are thinking yourself into stagnation. So the Queen of Pentacles is saying that, reminds you, it's actually coming through to remind you that the stability is built through the consistent, grounded action, not the fear-based thinking, all right? That you already have actually more control than you actually realize. So I feel like the final message here for you this week is about breaking some sort of patterns and rebuilding stability. The Devil's revealing the attachment. The Three of Swords is revealing the emotional wounds. The Page of Pentacles is showing the rebuilding. And the Queen of Pentacles is showing the mastery, all right? And underneath that, Four of Wands, Knight of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. This is your transformation path, all right? From stability to grounding, from avoidance to healing, from lack thinking to self-worth, from fear to grounded confidence. Like, Spirit's not punishing you. You're actually being set free. So, wow, beautiful souls. Claim this energy that you release any fear-based attachments, and you are ready to rebuild your stability and step into grounded abundance. And remember, my Sagittarius Capricorn Cuspers, that what you break free from this week is what finally is going to allow you to build something real. I'm sending you so much love and light for the week ahead, and I'll check you around in the next one. Capricorn, Aquarius, Cuspers, like, Spirit is showing me this emotional renewal that is trying to enter your life this week. But you may still be balancing maybe too many responsibilities to fully receive it. As we're moving through the last quarter moon in Pisces, the emotional release is active beneath the surface. Venus conjunct Jupiter, bringing healing through connections, forgiveness, and opportunity, while Mercury squares Saturn, which is pushing for some sort of clarity, structure, and truth. Yeah, this week is going to be about balancing duty with the emotional awakening and learning to receive again. So looking at your overall energy, we have the Two of Pentacles, and underneath it all, though, we do have the Ace of Cups. Wow. So you're balancing right now a lot, like responsibilities, emotions, work, relationships, and inner healing. Two of Pentacles talks about the constant adjustment, trying to keep everything flowing without dropping anything important. And underneath that is the Ace of Cups. So that changes everything, right? Because emotionally, something new is trying to enter your life. The healing, the love, the renewal, the peace, a fresh emotional beginning. So what Spirit is saying here is you cannot receive what you keep pushing aside to stay in control. So perhaps this week is asking you just to make space, not just manage the chaos, all right? The number 21 could really be significant for some of you. Here we have, for the obstacle, what to let go of, okay, Seven of Wands with the underlining energy, Three of Cups, defensive energy, feeling like you have to prove or why am I saying prove? Prove a point maybe. Protect your space, your emotions, your decisions from others. Underneath of that is the Three of Cups, which reveals a deeper truth here. Some of this defensiveness may be coming from past social experiences. It could be something to do with group dynamics, emotional disappointment. It could be due to family. Guarding yourself from friendships, guarding yourself from family, extended family, resisting emotional vulnerability, isolating to avoid disappointment, feeling misunderstood or unsupported. Not everyone is a threat to your peace, I'm hearing though. So maybe it's time just to let go of the need to stay constantly guarded, and that you don't have to defend yourself from every emotional possibility. All right. The number 37, 73 could be significant for some of you as well. Yeah, 2s, 3s, and 7s could be significant numbers. It could be life path numbers. Number 9 as well. The moon, I'm getting that 3 energy again. All right. The blessing. What to focus on this week? Deep inner work. Deep inner work energy. Moon is that intuition, right? The emotional sensitivity, the subconscious awareness, the uncertainty, but also powerful spiritual insight. So maybe you might not have full clarity this week, but you will have gained inner guidance. You're going to gain inner guidance. It's like trusting your own inner wisdom to guide you through, all right? Yeah, the Hermit underneath, which is confirming that sacred, maybe sacral energy could be significant. Sacred introspective phase, all right? Like a spirit is guiding you inward, right? Away from the noise, away from distraction, away from the external options, opinions. Like whatever you're seeking externally will only be found within first. So pay attention to your dreams, your intuition, your gut feelings, your emotions, emotional signals, all right? You already know more than you think. You're just learning right now to trust those feelings, all right? So the message from Spirit, while we do have a lot of Pisces energy coming through here in your reading, interesting. Knight of Cups, underneath is Judgment. I feel like this is a powerful emotional awakening message coming through here. The Knight of Cups brings the movement towards love, healing, creativity, and the emotional expression. Judgment underneath, which means it's not casual energy, right? It's the calling, the wake-up moment, the soul-level decision. So Spirit's showing me someone who's being guided towards the emotional truth, but they must respond to it, not ignore it. Like, this is going to be your moment to answer something that your soul has been whispering to you all along, all right, for a long time. So maybe you might receive a message, an offer, a realization, an emotional opening that just maybe changes some sort of direction. Spirit's saying, don't miss it. Yeah, this week is definitely about some sort of emotional recollaboration, soul alignment. 2 of Pentacles, asking you to rebalance your life. 7 of Wands may just say, soften a little bit of your defenses. The Moon says, trust your intuition. The Knight of Cups says, bring the emotional movement with the healing, together, all right? Emotional movement and healing. And underneath that, with the Ace of Cups, 3 of Cups, the Hermit, and Judgment. Wow, okay, that is your truth underneath here. The new emotional beginning that is trying to reach you, that healing is available in connections, inner wisdom is your guide, and your soul is calling some sort of activation, judgment. All right. So Spirit is like not asking you to force anything. They're just asking you to be open. All right. So perhaps you can claim in the comments you are opening up your heart to healing. You're trusting your intuition and answering your soul's calling. And remember that Capricorn, Aquarius, Cuspers, you don't need all the answers to move forward. You only need to say yes to what your soul already recognizes. So I'm sending you love and light, and I'll definitely check you around in the next one. Aquarius, Pisces, Cuspers, welcome in, beautiful souls. Okay, so what Spirit is showing me is a new beginning trying to form in your life, but maybe perhaps your thoughts have been so caught up in old fears that don't belong to your future anymore. Okay, so we do have that last quarter Pisces moon that is happening for the emotional clearing and subconscious healing that are intensified. And then we also have Venus conjunct Jupiter, which is bringing soft opening for growth and renewal, while Mercury square Saturn highlights the need for patience, structure, mental clarity. So this week is going to be about releasing some sort of mental pressure so something new can finally take root. Right, so looking at your general energy, thank you for hitting the like button, beautiful souls, and leaving comments. Okay, so Page of Pentacles, but a little bit of stress at the bottom, underlining of this. This is beginner energy with the Page of Pentacles, right? But with maybe the mental weight attached. Like the Page of Pentacles is talking about, you know, that new opportunities, lessons, or a fresh start that's forming, right? A new path. Maybe it's a learning experience. It could be a financial career beginning, or maybe some sort of personal development journey. It could be a gift. It could be money that's coming in. Something small, all right? But underneath it, or it's a starting, right? But underneath the Nine of Swords, it tells me maybe you're overthinking something about this, all right? Whatever this is for you, you're overthinking this new chapter, or this money, or this new career, or this job, or whatever this is, okay? Before it really begins. So there's a little bit of fear of failure, fear maybe of not being ready, maybe fear of repeating the past. And what Spirit's like saying is, you cannot grow something new while obsessing over what might possibly go wrong, all right? This is going to be the real opportunity. This is a real opportunity that's coming in, but maybe it just requires a little bit of you to calm your mind down to fully receive it. Easier said than done, all right? Us overthinkers. So here's another overthinking card that's in your challenge position, the Eight of Swords, all right? And underneath it is the page, the Knight of Pentacles. So that mental restriction and the self-imposed limitation, like you're feeling stuck, you're feeling unsure, feeling like progress is maybe too slow, or it's being blocked, right? Because Knight of Pentacles underneath shows truth. The progress is happening. It might be maybe slower than your mind actually wants it to be, but Spirit is highlighting the impatience and the self-doubt. So maybe this could be you that's over-analyzing the progress, doubting steady growth, feeling trapped in routine, or maybe you're busy comparing your journey to someone else, all right? But Spirit says, like, you know, slow progress is still progress. You know, letting go of the belief that things must move faster to be valid. All right, so let's have a look at the blessing. While we have the world with the death here, okay, maybe there's some recognition worldwide. It doesn't have to be. Either way, like the world card is actually the card of major completion, and then the death is the rebirth, right? Completion, rebirth cycle that's happening here. So that is your blessing that's happening. The world is talking about the closure, the achievement, the integration, and the successful ending after some sort of major life chapter. Death is confirming this transformation. It's not just happening, it's actually completing. All right. Something is fully ending, so something entirely new can begin. It's like this may involve like maybe it's a mindset shift, right? Maybe it's a life phase completion, emotional rebirth, maybe it's spiritual evolution. Whatever this is for you, it's going to be different for each and one of you. But either way, you're not stuck in the transition. You are actually busy completing this transformation. What ends now is going to actually create space for a completely new version of you. Let's have a look at what Spirit is saying here with the Spirit message. Well, we do have the Queen of Pentacles, whether you're male or female, no matter. Wow, I'm even getting the Page of Pentacles here. Interesting. So Spirit is speaking quite softly here. Okay, Spirit is saying this is your grounding and emotional renewal message. Because the actual card that's here is the Queen of Pentacles. Stability, self-care, emotional maturity, and grounded abundance. And that is what this Page of Pentacles is bringing in, I'm hearing. So the Queen of Pentacles is coming through to remind you that you are safe to build again. And the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, that softness, the intuition, the emotional openness, the spiritual messages. Spirit saying healing comes when you combine practicality with the emotional trust. Nurture yourself. Yeah, that's what the Spirit's actually saying. They're saying nurture yourself like someone worth protecting, because you are. New emotional beginnings are forming, but it's going to require self-compassion and not self-criticism. There is the beginner's energy, all right? There's a quiet transformation that's happening, like a gentle rebuilding, the new beginning, releasing the fear, the overthinking things, all right? The completion, the closure and the completion of something, and restoring some sort of stability and grounding. Underneath it all, your mind is busy healing, I'm hearing. Your path is unfolding slowly. A cycle is ending, and a new beginning is forming. The Spirit's not rushing you, all right? The Spirit's just guiding you. Your Spirit is guiding you. And I'm hearing that it's time for you to claim that you release the fear, you trust your growth, and you welcome new beginnings with an open heart. And you can say it to yourself. I release fear, I trust my growth, and I welcome new beginnings with an open heart. And remember, my Aquarius, Pisces, Cuspers, you're not starting over. You're starting from a place of wisdom, softer and more aligned before. I'm sending you love and light for the week ahead, and I'll check you around in the next one. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and leaving comments.